Now, I'm sure many of you have been watching the news regarding the volcano in Hawaii that recently erupted, and we've seen the utter devastation it has caused in that land. Many homes being destroyed, properties. The land is just being devoured by the lava flow, and there is no stopping it at this moment. And when I was witnessing those scenes, it reminded me of a passage written in the late 1800s by the late great prophet Ellen White. And in this passage, I believe she is describing the end of the world, no doubt, but the scenes that we are witnessing in Hawaii, I believe, is like a small type, is a shadow of what is soon to come upon the whole world. And I'd just like to read elements of the passage that I was reading just to highlight this even further. It reads, "In the day of the Lord, just before the coming of Christ, God will send lightnings from heaven in his wrath, which will unite with fire in the earth." Now, I know this part which I've just read has not been fulfilled yet. As I mentioned earlier, what's taking place in Hawaii is just a shadow. It's not the complete fulfillment. However, note what she said in the second passage here. This is key. "The mountains will burn like a furnace and will pour forth terrible streams of lava, destroying gardens and fields, villages and cities. The mountains will burn like a furnace and will pour forth terrible streams of lava, destroying gardens and fields, villages and cities. And as they pour their melted ore, rocks and heated mud into the rivers will cause them to boil like a pot and send forth massive rocks and scatter their broken fragments upon the land with indescribable violence."
Whoa! After warning signs Kilauea would blow, today it happened. The eruption spitting rocks into the air, shooting a massive plume of smoke and ash 30,000 feet.
We may have additional larger events, more powerful events, kind of like what we saw earlier this morning.
Today's eruptions come after 2 weeks of volcanic activity. Earthquakes, fissures, and toxic gases have turned this tropical paradise into hell for some.
The earth will be convulsed and there will be dreadful eruptions and earthquakes everywhere.
Today's eruptions come after 2 weeks of volcanic activity. Earthquakes, fissures, and toxic gases have turned this tropical paradise into hell for some.
You can't compare it to anything I've seen.
Wow. Mark Clausen lives among the lobbying lava bombs.
What's it like to see that?
Kind of getting used to it, but frankly, it was a little unnerving.
Today's eruption raising new health concerns over sulfur dioxide venting into the air. Locals also bracing for ashfall.
The earth's crust will be rent by the outburst of the elements concealed in the bowels of the earth. These elements, once broken loose, will sweep away the treasures of those who for years have been adding to their wealth by securing large possessions at starvation prices from those in their employ. So we see elements of that passage being fulfilled in this devastation being caused in Hawaii. Now let me emphasize again that it's not the true complete fulfillment. It's only Hawaii. But I believe through what God is telling us in Hawaii, it's foreshadowing the coming destruction. And it's for us to be warned that we cannot trust in our possessions. We cannot trust upon this earth. It's unsettled. We are seeing natural disasters. The earthquakes, the murders, recently the school shooting. These things are just becoming so frequent. It's crazy. We are becoming numb to it. And it's all just telling us that the Lord is coming soon. And we who know these things should be preparing, seriously preparing for what is soon to come upon the world as an overwhelming surprise.